That's coming from you. I appreciate that. I want to be remiss to thank a good friend who surprised me here, the former coach of Bucknell University, Pat Flannery. I want to thank you for coming here. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is a celebration. It's a celebration of some of the important people that impacted my life. Whether subtle or direct, loudly or in their quiet ways, their communication was so meaningful that it made a difference. The relationships that I had with my teachers, coaches, administrators, my family, my friends, and my parents helped me build a foundation throughout my formative years. I used that foundation to shape who I was, to give me meaningful direction, and to help propel me to a fulfilling life. And as I look back on those earlier years, I came to the realization that all of us have the ability to touch and impact the lives and those of others. How we do it and its effect on the lives of others may not always be consciously recognized by the recipient, but it does always have impact. And yet, the contribution to many young lives can go thankless. Hey, I'm guilty of it. It's taken me 30 years to thank some of the people in this room. It's not intentional. Trust me, I'm also the father of 3. But seriously, tonight really is a celebration about all the people in this room. You see, all of us inductees have a story to tell. And all of you were invited here because you have contributed in some way to our success. It is impossible to thank and acknowledge everybody tonight. And I was assured if I tried that I would get a hook from table 10 right over there. But I would like to take this opportunity to thank 3 people and show my gratitude. 6 months ago, I received a very unexpected phone call at my chiropractic office in Maryland. It was from my coach, Rich Polchinski, congratulating me on my induction into the Northern Athletic Hall of Fame. And one of the first things that Coach P said to me, jokingly, was, you know, Ray, there aren't many people around here anymore that remember us guys. And you know, after some thought, I realized Coach was right. And so, Coach, I'm fortunate that we're both still around and that you remembered me. But seriously, I'm glad that we're spending the evening together, Coach, not only so I can personally thank you for this tremendous honor, but also for the confidence you showed a 16-year-old kid that eventually enabled me to become the basketball player that I was. And your guidance off the court, which contributed to the man I have become. So it should be no surprise that you too were inducted into this hall in 2010. Coach P, I am forever grateful to you for all that you've given me. I am proud and I am honored to be standing in this hall with you tonight. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. There's only one word to describe my mom, and that's my protector. No, not in the physical sense, but in the emotional sense. You see, my mom just simply didn't permit any negative talk about her son, least of all from her husband. Thank you, Mom, for your protection, for your patience, and for your love. Dad, 48 years ago, you introduced me to the game of basketball, and it forever changed the trajectory of my life. You said one thing to me when we got started. You said, son, don't ever quit on yourself, because I'll never quit on you. You were and are my biggest fan on and off this court. Excuse me.
Thank you.
But also at times, my biggest critic. And there were times when that proclamation was put to the test. You see, one day my dad promised he would attend one of my first basketball games at Junior High West. And unfortunately for me, it wasn't a very memorable one. And by the middle of the fourth quarter, my coach had planted me permanently on the bench next to his left side, with my teammates next to my left. And as I sat there looking around, I thought my dad was a no-show. As I sat there thinking how I was going to explain this poor performance to my father, and totally unaware of my surroundings, a man walked through a pair of window double doors at the far end of our bench. He had tapped the last player on the bench to get to the next player, all the way down the line to get to me. And as I turned with my teammates to look at that man, it was my father. And by then, he had taken 2 steps onto the court. He and without uttering a single word, pointed directly at me and gestured. And then he walked off the court. Well, weeks went by, and I finally asked my dad why he gets so upset when I play so poorly. He said to me, "Son, don't waste this opportunity you have to play basketball." And he finally said, "I live vicariously through you." You see, my dad was an excellent high school basketball player in his own right. He just never had the advantage of 2 parents helping him make important decisions when it came to basketball and academics. So from that point forward, I always appreciated my dad's praise and understood and learned from his constructive criticism. Like he'd always say, don't be bitter, be better, Ray. So Dad, to the hardworking steel mill worker you are, to the man who danced with Doris Day and shook hands with President Kennedy, to my biggest fan, Dad, this one's for you. I love you, thank you. To all of you here, God bless you, and I am proud and honored to be a Norway Knight. Thank you.